guys, it is time for the Scottish Pantheon. I promised you guys I would be doing the Scottish Pantheon, and here it is. This first god is God Angus. No, he is not a hammer. Like I said, I will try to do the best pronunciation of the gods that I can during this series. I know in my past series I have got a lot of comments saying that I didn't pronounce their name right and it aggravates people. I want to let you know I do have a speech impediment. It is hard for me to speak as it is in some aspects of words. So I would do my best pronunciation to do this, to say their names right. And this guy coming up, Angus, was a very hard god to do research on. He is, I'm guessing, a major god, but he also kind of falls in the middle of minor and major. His story is kind of nice. He's basically, the stories I had to go by Wikipedia. I know that's not the best research. There are other researches, long stories about him. And what I found interesting so far is that it looks like the Christians took him as their Jesus. So another example of another god in the pantheons taken to be the Christians' Jesus. Anyhow, we will start, and I chose the best music that I could for the Pantheon series in Angus. Angus's music, I could not really find anything that suited him, so I used this music. I hope that you enjoy it, and as always, here is his titles, alternative names and spellings, and symbols. Welcome back. Now, God Angus is God of four things. He is God of youth, love, beauty, inspiration. Now, surprisingly to me, not surprisingly, I'm sorry. Unsurprisingly to me is that the Christians took him as Jesus. There was a lot of reference if you type in his name, God Angus. it comes up a lot to a lot of Christian references. I guess in Scotland they converted him into the Christianity. Him being a god of youth, love, and beauty, I can see where they would have took him from. But I'm not trying to bash on anyone's religion. I'm just trying to make a point that you can see how Christianity and other religions have taken other religions to build their own suit. Anyhow, that's a different video for another time. The next thing I have is his sacred animal. His sacred animal is boards. Now the story goes that he always had a flock of boards flying around his head to make like a halo. So that's another reference that I have found, which would be why they took him. The white boards would fly around his head to make a halo all the time. Now his sacred color is orange. His element is fire. His sacred Sabbath is spring equinox. His associated planet is the sun. His representation is a golden harp. His orb is chaste tree berries. Now, in regards to what we got so far and what we went over, spring equinox is like the rebirth of spring, which is another thing. And to his birth, when we're talking about his birth, his mother and his father took 9 months, stopped the time in earth for 9 months for him to be born. So he was born in the same day as he was conceived. Now, the 9 months, which would be, oh my god, why am I stuttering? Which would be related to a pregnancy. And I read up on his herb, which is chaste tree berries, which I listed below, actually helps in pregnancy. So that's an interesting fact. Now his mother was goddess Dawn, queen of the heavens. And his father was god Bele, father of the gods. Now, in my research doing the Scottish Pantheon, it has been really hard for me in the beginning to break up the Celtics and to the different branches of God and goddesses, because a lot of them are going to mix together some, past. They're not all, like here that I found, actually Dawn is actually considered Irish. And a lot of her research that I have done on her, and the father is god Bela, which is father god of the Scottish. So he is Scottish, but his mother is Irish, which is interesting, to me at least. And again, we will come into this with which his levels and which he was husband of. His levels, he had 3 levels through his lifetime, and they were goddess Bo Ann, which is goddess of rivers, and goddess Iten, horse goddess. And then his final love was a mortal woman by the name of this. Now, he had no children. He had no divine children, I'd say. So, let's go over this. Now, first of all, he had, his mother was actually, not his mother, I'm sorry, I messed up. Goddess Boan, was one of his first loves, and she was goddess of the rivers. And he fought over her with his father, over her love for a while. And Etan, which is horse goddess, which is also another goddess that will be talking about, which she comes a lot in the Celtic Pantheon. She's named many different names. One of them that we did in our past Pantheon named Winhun, I'm sorry if I pronounced the name wrong. Which that is where she, another name of hers, which they followed. And the other one, which was a mortal woman that he chased after. And with no divine children, his legacy ended there. Now, the next god we will be doing is God Bailey. I'm sorry if the name is mispronounced. And he's also known as, Father of the Gods, or also Beltane, is where they got the name from. So he is a really interesting god and a very powerful one at that. And he's the next one that we will be doing. And I hope you enjoyed this video on the Scottish gods. It is my first one. So the next ones will be coming up. There will be 5 gods in total. So for the gods. So anyhow, I hope you have a blessed day. And may the goddess bless you. Bye.